Don Raymond was inspired.
The first black four-sport letterman.
It opened the eyes of many people, blacks and whites.
A trailblazer.
Don Raymond was no ordinary young man. He broke barriers, inspired many, and affected change, all before reaching adulthood.
At first, I thought the story was kind of unbelievable, but
Insurmountable amount of adversity that he had to face, cleat marks on his back, bruises from being stepped on, and his sacrifice and his determination was key in an effort to make him as successful as he was at Hornville High School.
I feel that Don did bring people together during his short stay here. I feel that that somewhat opened the doors through the years for other blacks, young black men, and females too, as far as participating in sports.
This young man had a dream to not just become a great athlete, but a dream to go cross over to the white school, which was Hornville High, and to make a difference. And through that, he persevered. Through all of the adversity that he faced it, he persevered by achieving his goal, not just to be a great student in the classroom, but a great athlete on the field.
I think that the things that Don accomplished during a very challenging, difficult period, the magnitude of what he accomplished says a lot about the ability and the possibilities of the human spirit. In other words, if you believe in yourself and you believe in, you have confidence in your abilities, you believe in God, you believe in your dreams, you can achieve that as long as you are willing to be courageous enough to step forward and to make those dreams a reality.
Well, I was very touched about the story. I mean, it was a tragic story, but at the same time, it was inspiring and motivating, and hopefully some of our children will take that story and do something with it.
I think Don was a trailblazer, and he cleared the way a lot for all youth to be able to participate in a school system that beforehand was not so accepting of them. So all of us are better for Don Raymond's legacy, all of us.
I was sitting around moping and crying, and Don came over and he opened his arms up and he said, "Come on, you're gonna be all right." And that was one of his favorite words he would say, or one of the things that he would say. He would always, to make things easy, he would say, "It'll be all right."
I realized how significant he was and influential he was, not only in black history, but in history as far as honoring the achievements of all our leaders in our past and present society, because it's truly a testament of his willingness to fight on a day-to-day basis for what he believed in, not only for Hornville High School, but for society as well.
I think one of the best ways I can describe it is in the quote by Ed Reed about the book, wherein he essentially said that success does not happen in a vacuum, and our success is built on selfless acts of others. And he said that the Crossing Over book introduced him to one of the giants on whose shoulders he stood. And so that means for all the young people who have risen to that level of professionalism, particularly in athletics, Don Raymond has contributed in a way that perhaps they may not know, but certainly he has opened the door for them to achieve, whether they know it or not. He absolutely did that.
We can only hope to talk with our basketball players, baseball players, extracurricular activities, regular students as well, our entire student population, in an effort just to get them to see how difficult things were in that particular time and how easy that they have it. I try to tell my basketball players all the time, they have it so easy today with things that are being done for them, and they don't have to put in any work, and it's given to them, and you have transportation home, and it's just things are right there on the silver platter for them, and just getting them to open their eyes to see what this young man had to go through on a day-to-day basis sort of bring tears to your eyes. For a 16-year-old to be able to handle that amount of pressure and still have the ability to not only be successful on the field, but in the classroom as well, when so many people were against him. And you can only hope to use that as a motivational piece so that the youth of today's society could try to better themselves and try to emulate Don Raymond and some of the positive things that he was able to do while here at Hornville High School. Because just like
Glenn Singleton has chronicled the life and legacy of Don Raymond in his book, Crossing Over, a tribute to Don Raymond. It has brought many to tears and inspiration, but most importantly, it has shared a story that must be told.
It all started by Don and Larry dreamed to grow up to play sports like their big brothers. And unfortunately, that dream never came through because Don got killed in an automobile accident. And when Don got killed, my brother Larry looked like he just lost the drive to play sports. And after graduation, Larry decided to join the Navy. And upon joining the Navy, Larry left behind his personal high school memorabilia. And
wow, that's been a journey. And I say it secondarily. I'm not the author of the book, but I can tell you that I've been on board since the time that the book was actually published. I've contributed by editing the book for Mr. Singleton several times. In fact, Mr. Singleton has taken a couple of decades in collecting the research and data for this book. So it is a labor of love, indeed it is. The actual many meetings that we've had centered around the book, making it better. How do we get it out there? It's included countless hours of time on behalf of many people, not just me, but it's worth every bit of time and effort. So we spent a lot of hours doing this, a lot of our own financial input as well, but we're committed to getting Don's story out there. It's very important to humankind. We all believe that we get this story out and we all hear about it.
For an author to tell a story the way he's told it, in a very interesting, intriguing way, in a very accurate way, it's going to be an asset to our community. I certainly compliment him for his personal achievement, and I compliment him for having the courage to tell a story about a hero.
I came to know Don through my brother Larry. Don and I had two big brothers that was going to Carver High School, which was James and Horace. And Larry and Don's relationship bonded through the relationship of their big brothers. And when Horace would come over to spend a weekend, he would bring Don to spend a weekend, and vice versa, my brother James would bring Larry. So that's where I got to see who Don Raymond was and got a chance to know Don at such a young age.
Both a legend and a figure that served a purpose on this earth during his short time that was much bigger than he himself. I am honored to have been enlightened with his story. I would like to offer special thanks to Mr. Glenn Singleton, the Crossing Over team, and all who were involved in the process of making this film.